Hello, welcome to Rhode Island Farm Watch, a monthly show about agriculture in the state of Rhode Island. This month we're covering the apple harvest kickoff event. We'll be visiting 4 orchards throughout the state of Rhode Island and be assessing the damage that was done by the hurricane and also just talking about the apple industry in general. So let's see what's going on in the apple industry in the state of Rhode Island.
How is this year's apple harvest?
Despite Irene, it's an excellent apple harvest. Great crop, as you can see on the trees here, and just about ready for picking.
Mm-hmm. What is it that you want to get out? You want people to come out and, you know, enjoy the weekend and pick
Enjoy
apples?
the weekend, pick apples, explore the farms, and you know, buy local apples and produce.
Mm-hmm. How is this year's harvest compared to years in the past?
Well, I think Gil would know a little bit better than me on that. I think it started off stronger, but then there's a little setback with Irene, but it's still a great harvest.
But now, as far as like, has the temperatures been right and all that kind of stuff? And
yeah, the temperatures have been perfect. Not, especially the last week where it's cooled off quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's definitely helped with ripening. So this rain is a little setback, especially as we're ready to pick, but it's
And what else would you like people to know? This is your chance to get your message out.
Well, what else? We are from the Rhode Island Fruit Growers Association, and together this year we put together a farm scavenger hunt. So we'll take you to 24 of the orchards around the state, and you can pick these up by visiting any of the orchards. So if you just go to Rhode Island Fruit Growers website and you locate an orchard and begin your hunt there.
What was your biggest fear?
Biggest fear was losing the trees, not just the crop, but we lost only a small amount of fruit, and we still have a great crop to be harvested.
And so you had like what, a lot of apples fall off? And
Not a lot, a small percentage fell off, but there's still a lot on. It kind of thinned them out a little.
Mm-hmm. And is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Gave us some early cider apples.
Mm-hmm. So this year's cider is going to be fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, they had all this extended wind on this storm. You know, usually when we have hurricanes, it's, you know, in and out in a few hours. This is pretty extended. You know, were you worried that, you know, this was really going to cause you a big problem?
We were worried. We did all we could do to prepare. We picked as many as we could, and we tightened up the wires on the trellis so that they would stand up to the higher winds. And as you can see, they've come through it pretty well.
Okay. Anything either one of you want to add? We haven't heard from you yet.
Spokeswoman hasn't said anything.
Haven't heard from Sandy yet.
Well, we have a lot to pick, so you can come out and enjoy the farm still.
All right. Why don't we go a little bit? Ask you about how's this year's harvest been?
Harvest is great. There's still a lot of apples on the trees. They hung on during the wind. They weren't ready to pick, so a lot of the later varieties are still very abundant, and even the early ones. The Max held on, which we were very surprised.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about how's the weather been all summer long? Has it been good growing season for you guys?
When we have rain early, which as you call May and June, were very high abundance of rain, that bodes well for the crop later on and the size and the abundance. So, you know, it started out great, you know, a little more pest issues, but we met the challenge.
So tell me what you told me out there. It's time to pick apples.
The crop is ready. A lot of the varieties are ready right now. Max, Cortland's, McCowan's by this weekend.
McCowan's my favorite. You're going to have McCowan's this weekend?
Yeah, they'll still be a little tart, but a lot of folks like them like that, so we're going to let them pick them.
You're going to sell them at Hope Street?
Yep.
This weekend?
Yep.
I'll be over there.
Great.
Okay.
Well, there's not much choice right now, and so it gets better.
So you pasteurize your cider, is that right?
No, we don't.
Oh, you don't?
We treat it with the ultraviolet
Oh, all
machine,
right.
and that doesn't change the flavor at all. It tastes just like fresh squeeze, but it makes it safer to drink.
Right.
Do you want to say anything, Carrie, to start off with?
Well, we are here at Barden's Orchard, and it is September 7th, and it's New England Apple Harvest Kickoff Day. And Ken here is a proclamation that he will read for us about Rhode Island recognizing this as Apple Harvest Month.
That's great. So on behalf of Governor Chafee, this is a proclamation that he signed this morning, and we'll read it. Here at Barden Orchards, whereas apples have been an integral part of Rhode Island's agriculture since the 1600s, whereas the first North American variety, yellow sweeting, was developed by William Blackstone in Cumberland, Rhode Island, whereas the apple harvest has been supporting Rhode Island's economy since the early part of the 20th century, whereas apples are the second most valuable fruit grown in the U.S. and ranked in the top 5 crop products for Rhode Island, whereas the Rhode Island greening apple, developed in 1796, has been the Rhode Island state fruit since 1991, and whereas apples represent good nutrition and are part of a diet free from fat, cholesterol, and sodium, an excellent source of fiber and natural antioxidants, and whereas the apple industry is a part of a diversification strategy practiced by many of Rhode Island's full-time farmers, provides supplemental income for a number of part-time farmers and employment for many of our state citizens. And whereas the September apple harvest marks the beginning of the season when all producing orchards in the state open their stands and orchards for farm activities such as Pick Your Own, and whereas many orchards throughout the state have become agricultural educators to schools and groups, providing an on-the-farm experience with guided tours and pertinent information about apple production. Now therefore I, Lincoln D. Chafee, Governor of the State of Rhode Island, and Providence Plantations do hereby proclaim September 2011 Apple Harvest Month in the state of Rhode Island and encourage all state residents to recognize the importance of this month, signed by the Governor on September 9th, 2011. So, happy Apple Day.
And we are also joined by Hannah from Farm Fresh Rhode Island, where Barden's, as I understand, has a lot of involvement with the farmers markets. And maybe you want to tell us a little bit about how important it is that these farms are producing.
So I'm Hannah. I'm from Farm Fresh Rhode Island. We are a nonprofit in Providence, and we do a lot of work around growing a local food system. We run farmers markets. We have 9 across Providence and a couple other communities, and apples are a really important thing at a lot of our farmers markets. A lot of people are coming looking for fruit. Apples are something very familiar to a lot of people, and people are always looking for them. And we do a lot of work with WIC, the WIC program, and the WIC fruit and vegetable coupons, as well as food stamps or SNAP, and a bonus doubling program. So we're trying to make Rhode Island's apples more accessible and affordable to all the members of our community. We also run a program called Market Mobile, which is a wholesale local foods distribution program where apples from Barden orchards and products from many other farms in Rhode Island are sent out to restaurants and grocery stores, workplaces, hospitals around the state. So this first week of September, we have nearly $1,000 worth of apples and peaches going out to about 24 different customers around the state, including half a dozen white tablecloth restaurants in Providence. We have a community meal site and soup kitchen in Providence, as well as 3 supermarkets in Boston. So as apple season continues, we're looking forward to getting Rhode Island apples out to lots more customers and workplaces and hospitals around the state for all Rhode Islanders to enjoy.
All right.
You're on.
Hi, I'm Barb Weeks. I'm the Executive Director of New England Apple Association, and Apple Day is all about telling the public that apples are ready. And I just heard the forecast for this weekend, and it's supposed to be a great weekend for all the apple growers, so get out and pick.
Great.
Right, good.
Thank you. And that's our show for this month. We'll see you next month on Farm Watch.